I know. What I'm going to do now. Taeho was clueless about what to do. He needed someone's advice to take things further. Give her some time, Tae. Let her adapt to the new changes and slowly make her understand. He spoke calmly. I know her, Young. She will continue trying to escape from here till she succeeds, Tai said. He knew her more than anyone. He was very sure of her motive. She will not, Tai. The security is very tight and no one can escape that easily. Yoongi comforted him. Taeho nodded. He was still not convinced about Lisa's safety, but he was tired and needed to rest. Yoongi sensed the restlessness in his face. Go and take a nap, Tai. You look tired, he said, patting his shoulder. Good night. Tae nodded and walked out of the bar. He walked straight to the guest room where Lisa was sleeping. He wanted to sleep with her tonight, even if she is not willing. He wanted her warmth. When he opened the door, the pieces of the broken vase greeted him. He looked around for Lisa and saw her crying in a corner. Bunny! He quickly ran to her and held her. Lisa, look at me. He cupped her face and made her look at him. Her little face was wet with tears. Lisa looked at him with pain-filled eyes which stabbed his heart. Both of them didn't say anything. They just stared at each other. Taeho felt like crying by watching her eyes, filled with pain and hurt. He quickly hugged her, hiding his face in the crook of her neck. His arms possessively hugged her waist. They stood like there for a few seconds until Lisa pushed him away from here. She looked at him sharply and went to the bed. Are you okay? He asked, looking at her covering herself with duvet. Lisa ignored him. She sighed when she heard the door shutting. She was about to close her eyes, but a strong arm wrapped around her. She was quick to guess who it was. Taeho didn't leave the room. He closed the door from inside and went to bed with her and hugged her from behind. Leave me, Taeho. She struggled to escape from his grip. Please, Lisa, just let me hug you. I promise I won't do anything, Tae muttered. His tone was heavy. Looks like he was about to cry. No, I don't trust you, she remarked, even though she knew it would hurt him. He was the person she once trusted with all her heart until he broke it. Please, I need this. Just let me hug you, he pleaded, nuzzling his head in the crook of her neck, not wanting her to see him crying. Lisa stopped struggling when she felt hot tear, falling onto the back of her neck. She knew he was crying. She knew he is guilty for whatever he has done and said to her, but she can't give him another chance to break her. Lisa calmed down in his arms, but sleep was far away from her. She couldn't call asleep. Sometimes it's because she's back in his arms after a long time, and she wanted to feel his hug all night, or because of the long train of thoughts running in her mind. Soon Lisa heard soft snores from Tai. She turned around to face him. A small smile appeared on her lips, seeing his cute, sleeping face. She placed a hand on his cheek, caressing it softly. We would be very happy together if you didn't choose to cheat and insult me, Tai.
2 days later. Lisa has been trying to escape from the mansion for the past 2 days. She tried many ways but couldn't escape from the gigantic mansion. And Taeho have increased the security around the mansion to prevent her from escaping. Lisa was bored staying in her bedroom and she decided to go to the kitchen. When she reached the kitchen, all the maids were in a hurry. NJ, why are you all in a rush? She asked a maid who was almost same as her age. The dinner is about to serve soon and there are still some finishing touches. We are in a hurry to complete all that, she replied, concentrated on the pot on the stove. But I had dinner and Taeho too. Then for whom you all are cooking? Lisa asked, glancing at the food NJ was cooking. For the guards. NJ spoke fastly. Oh. Lisa hummed and walked back to her bedroom thinking about something. And suddenly something lit up in her head. She quickly ran to the room and started checking the cupboards. She found the emergency aid kit and opened. Her smile widened seeing the sleeping pills in the box. She held those in her hands and smiled in satisfaction. But Lisa suddenly startled when she heard the door open. She quickly put the pills back in the box and kept the box back in the cupboards, hurriedly. Taehyung, who came to her room, was confused to see her suddenly panicking. Are you okay? He asked, being suspicious about her behavior. Yeah. I'm totally fine. She quickly replied and smiled to prevent him from doubting her. He nodded and took a step closer to her. I am going for a mission tonight. So you'll be here without me and... He took one more step closer and pulled her towards him by her waist, increasing the acceleration of her heart. Don't try to escape or you'll know the consequences, Lisa. I have tightened the security. So don't try to be smart. Stay here and you'll be safe. Taehyung warned with a cold voice, but his eyes were warm. You get it? He asked, looking at her sharply. Lisa licked her lips out of nervousness, nodded. She was tensed about the closeness between them. Taehyung leaned closer to her ears and whispered, say yes or no. He kissed her ear before leaning back. A shiver ran down through her spine when he did so. Why, yes. I will not escape, she said, looking down. He lifted her jaw by his fingers to make her look at him. She looked at him with tensed eyes. His eyes traveled around her face and finally stopped at her lips. He stared at it for a while and leaned in. Lisa understood that he was going to kiss her, but she leaned back, not wanting to kiss. Taehyung understood her moves and put his one hand behind her neck and pulled her closer while his other hand was tightly holding her by the waist. He pulled her into a kiss. He kissed her without warning, without permission, without even deciding to do it. All he wanted was to claim her as his once again. He slammed her to the wall and kissed her hungrily. Lisa struggled to escape from his arms. But he held her hands and pinned it on the wall and slammed his well-built body on her delicate one. Lisa stopped struggling when she felt it was useless, but she didn't kiss him or tried to stop him. Because the kiss felt so good for her to stop.